Right then, so about 15-20 minutes later on from when we just left you, once we got them casters out, and I don't think we had another one feeding slop. I think we had one straight away, and then we didn't. So we cut the slop out like I said I was going to, and then we just quickly went on to a 2-foot overshotted rig. We had 2 in 2 chucks, and I thought how strange, and then I've just dropped down again then because it went a bit quiet for a few minutes. So I've just dropped to a 2.5-foot rig. Or it might be a 3-foot. No, I'm pretty sure it's 2.5. And then we've had another one then. So there's a few fish coming into the feed now, you know, whether that's time of day or casters itself. I'm not 100% sure, but like I said, it's definitely knocking on the doors now as time for them to feed. So again, we're still feeding it in our edge, as you can see, deep overshotted rig. We'll talk through rigs afterwards, but as you can see what we're doing. Like I said, when it's not solid, you've got time to feed before you ship out. As you can see with casters, you just hold more bait and fish in your peg all the time. Slap your rig past, let it all fall in tight, pick up your catapult, try and feed before you start having to flick again. So then you're flicking into your feed, so swirl at the back of the bait then as well. But that's the annoying thing, they seem to be doing weird things, like there's hardly any fish in your peg, but when they do come in, they seem to come in quite high up. So when I dropped in on a 2-foot overshotted rig and I had 2, I was like, how strange. There's 1. So that's brilliant, that's a great sign that. I'm just going to feed twice because it's not solid. Really try and get some bait in the peg. You know, I've fed like 1.5 pints already in 15-20 minutes, so that's a great sign that. You know, everything was tight, 1 pull, and he's in the net, so brilliant, perfect elastic. Just wet him in. As you can see, perfectly nailed. Nearly smacking the top lip wherever he is. So yeah, see what we're doing now. It's was it the right change? I'm not too sure because still no one else is really catching. Gaz has got one on, but first one he's had in a while. So again, I'm going to go straight in because I fed twice that time. So again, look, get to your point, slap your rig over, let it all become tight, try and feed before you start flicking. So at the minute my rig's falling in, I'm going to feed my bait, I can start flicking into that feed. That's when you rig, look at that, there we go. We're laughing now. And that is literally, that hasn't happened at all. So, and obviously when you flick that rig in like that, everything falls in tight. So as soon as you start flicking up, that's when everything's so tight, you're just hooking them, hopefully. Top lip again, I hope he's in the side, that one. So he snatched it at that one, so maybe he's had that on the way down. That's what I sort of like to go by. If he's in the side, he's snatched it and turned. And if they're in the top lip, they've almost come up for it and then stole it that way. So that's why I always look at how they're hooked. So this time I'm going to go in on the same rig, but I'm going to hold it out that little bit higher and just see whereabouts that hook hold is. Again, because it was quite quick that one, I'm going to go straight back in. I want to make the most of it now, so lean forward, slap the rig. As you see, it all slaps past. So yeah, bit of a technical issue there, but literally 10 seconds later, so straight away we've just caught another one. So we've not skipped or anything, straight away. Look at the size of this one. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, they're the residents you want. I'm saying, I can't quite hold him up. That is huge. Probably 4.5 pounds, but he's in the bottom, look again. Now, when I hooked him though, he was very still. So whether that was just because he was sat still in the peg, try and not look at that one because he's not one of them that, they're almost not your feeding fish, I guess to say. They're just a bonus, so I'm gonna look at the next one now and not really pay attention to that one. I hope you understand what I mean by that. It's not really the fish. That's like catching a carp. It's not the fish you're sort of fishing for. So I'm going to feed because he was so big and he stayed still. I'm just going to feed, but I'm really happy with how this is. So again, straight back in, slap your rig, pick up that catapult. That's the keyest thing. Obviously, I do a lot of coaching now, and you know, feeding straight away and then start lifting into that. That is the key. You don't want to start flicking and making a horrible noise when there's no bait falling through. I always swear by that. So as you can see now, you can feed bigger groups of bait, accurate, we're closer, you can feed more. Fish are in deeper water. It's starting to make more sense now. As you can see, I'm flicking it a little bit higher, so I'm going from like 2.5 now up to 2 foot. So that's what I've got to imagine. I'm fishing a 2 foot rig, so now I'm level with the water. So it's 2.5 up to 2 foot. So by even with a 2.5 foot rig, I can actually fish from 2 to 3 foot. So now look, I'm flicking up to 2 foot, lowering it down to 2.5, not had a bite. So I'm going to give it another 10 seconds doing the same. No bites. Right, so now I'm going to go from the 2.5 lowered. So now I'm going to nearly 3 foot. So when it's not as good, you actually don't have to swap around rigs too much. You can almost just lower or hold a bit higher every time. So now I'm near on 3 foot to just less than 2.5 sort of thing. That's what I'm sort of thinking about in my head. Obviously because it's not solid, it's hard to get an accurate gauge of where the fish are. But we've just had like 3 or 4 really quick, so it's a great gauge. And now we're just in the middle, so just like you normally would. Either side of 2.5 foot. And just see if that rig's right. It's quite interesting. I didn't think it'd be good that deep because they weren't really acting like that, but then all of a sudden as you start looking around now, there's no fish sucking, there's no fish picking off odd baits at weird depths. There's one. But that felt perfect, that felt like a right head shape. So maybe that rig's just good to sit on, but it might just be worth dropping down as well, because it is like 6 foot there from memory, maybe even a bit deeper. So, you know, one pull, look at that, pop straight up. Hopefully, if he plays a script, he does. That's brilliant, that. Another chubby one. Look at that one. When I said that felt right, look at that. Absolutely nailed top lip. So, goes to show, you sort of know when it's right. So I'm gonna stick with that rig. Feels right. I don't know if I clicked that last one. I'm horrendous at clicking. Horrendous. Oh well, be right. We're going easy on our nets, so we've got enough in anyway. Won't put many in a net, 15 or something. Put 30 to 40 pound in a net. So again, slap your rig in, be quick when you feed. So look, slap your rig and then straight into your pouch. Get your rig dragging into position, feed your bait, and you can start flicking. See whereabouts we get a bite, hold it up a bit shallower to start. Because it's not solid, I can almost afford to lose those few extra seconds. So a bit higher at first, because I want, obviously, I'm always looking to try and catch them shallower. If that's what I feel like is the way to catch a bigger weight. I feel like it'd be a bit quicker, a bit easier. If not, we're going to start lowering it a bit more now. And this sort of overshotting is totally different to fishing to cover. When you're fishing to cover, it's almost like you're poking a rig in and you're not really flicking as high. Whereas this, it's all about keeping a straight rig. You're in deeper water, so you want the rig to move over a larger distance through the water. So that's why I'm flicking it. Ooh, bumps that one, so that's interesting. Might just have a quick go on that shallow rig then. I don't like the look of that, and obviously we're not going to get enough chances, because I like to say once is not coincidental. Well, it is coincidental. Is that the right word? Not coincidental. So, but because we're not going to get loads of them, I'm just going to go with it. Go straight on a 2 foot. I think that's 2 foot. Am I wrong? Is it 3 foot and 2.5? No, it is 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. So this one's a 2 foot. Keep feeding that, because now we could almost have a quick little chuck in there every time we ship out. So it's getting good now. There's some bites to go at. Flipping lost my bait again. I'm using an old band. Probably shouldn't be. There's a larger caster in the band. Oh, did I? Oh, I used that one from before, that's why. Yes, choose out a nice large caster. Thread that on. I'm going to have to feed now. So I want some bait falling through the peg all the time. Maybe I'll be able to throw it, who knows. See, shall we? Can I throw it? Oh, not bad. Not bad. That'll do. So slap my rig. Don't know why I'm getting my leg off the platform every time. So yeah, now I'm starting again. Feed my bait. Just see if we get a bite on this rig. like I said, we had 2 straight away on it, so confident. It's only 6-inch difference. Definitely feels like they respond to bait a lot though. Like when you feed casters, you know, you get away with feeding loads, get loads of fish in your peg. Well, yeah, brilliant. See how that was a bit more sharper, you know, like when I flicked it was a lot more as if he was, don't know how to say it, a bit faster, a bit more aggressive the way he's feeding. Obviously the higher they are, the more, I suppose you could say spooky-ish off your rig, but could be bigger as well. But he was definitely aggressive when he took that, so probably snatched at it. Hang on, he might be foul hooked, you know. Yeah, he is. Got him now. How weird. Oh, he's not, he's wrapped round. Look, he is, look, he's just wrapped round. So that's what I was going to say, it felt right. But yeah, another brigand, so. Brilliant. Did I click? Did I not? I don't flip it now. Right, so we're going again. It's getting good now. Great little.